Too little too late. As royal traders Harry and Meghan are running out of options in Hollywood, they're desperate to reinvigorate that royal connection by coming home for Christmas. But is the royal family going to allow it?
Hello everyone. Welcome back to the King YouTube channel.
Wow, they sure are trying hard to make this Christmas thing happen. Over the weekend, we saw even more articles out there about Meghan and Harry and a possible return to the UK for Christmas. Most of this stuff is clearly coming from their PR people. It's obvious that Harry and Meghan are really trying to exert a lot of pressure on the king to make him invite them for Christmas. But it sounds like so far the king is not willing to play ball. According to Rebecca English at the Mail Online, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle would not be welcome at the royals' Christmas in Sandringham, insiders claim, following reports that the Sussexes would not decline an offer to join King Charles and the rest of the family over the festive season. Rebecca's referring to a story that hit all the media outlets claiming that Meghan and Harry told some insider, some source, again, probably Meghan herself, that if the king wanted to extend an invitation to Meghan and Harry for them to join the family at Sandringham for Christmas, they would accept, probably. And I did think it was necessary to add a probably in there because when it comes to Meghan and Harry, we can never be sure they're not just playing games again. When they say they would accept an invitation, it could just be that they're trying to get invited, but even if they were invited, they still wouldn't come. I mean, who knows? And what about the situation with Archofficial and Invisibed? I would assume that if Harry and Meghan are going to the UK for Christmas, that it would be expected they bring the two invisibles along. So how are they going to explain their absence? Or are they just going to hire some child actors? I don't know, but the issue certainly complicates matters. According to a source, though, who spoke with the Mail Online, this could turn out to be a non-issue altogether because, most likely, Harry and Meghan are not going to be invited to join the family. Rebecca English wrote, following reports, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex are keen to build bridges and would not decline an offer to join His Majesty for the festive season. Sources said the sudden love bombing from Montecito was bizarre. Yesterday, friends of the Sussexes, again probably Meghan and Scooby-Doo, told the Sunday Times that they want to change the state of play and that they would readily accept an invitation. One source told the Mail it seems as if they are really doubling down on their reconciliation strategy. The source went on to say, it's so bizarre to have behaved so badly, demanded an apology and an admission of guilt, to no avail, I might add, from the family, and now suggests they'll just waltz back in and allow bygones to be bygones if only someone would be good enough to invite them. It's a very good point this source is making. I mean, what are they thinking? Do they really think somehow, once they say they're ready to reconcile, that William and Charles and the rest are going to automatically forgive everything they have done and just let them come join the family for Christmas? It's insane. And I know the two of them are pretty crazy, but still, this is ridiculous even for them. So I can only assume they're just trying to play games in the media. I mean, surely. Harry knows his own family, I would think, well enough to know they're not just going to forgive at the drop of a hat. Why would they after everything that was said and everything that was done? It's not as if Harry and Meghan just criticize the monarchy in very general terms, no. We're talking about personal attacks against his older brother Prince William and especially his stepmother Queen Camilla. He made his brother out to be a bully in his book Spare, and he said that his stepmother was the evil stepmother who sacrificed him on her personal altar. Once these things are said, they cannot be taken back. The insider also pointed out that Meghan and Harry had been invited by both Queen Elizabeth and King Charles to join the family at Balmoral in the summer, but it was their choice not to spend time with the family since 2018. The source also said, which begs the question, why now? Is it something to do with the fact that some of their commercial deals, such as Spotify, have fallen around their ears, and they've been subject to ridicule in the US in shows such as South Park and Family Guy? The source continued saying, could it be that they have realized moaning about how awful being a member of the royal family isn't such a great strategy after all? Well, I think the source is hitting the nail on the head. This is obviously a case of Meghan and Harry panicking and thinking they gotta find some way to make money and fast. There is no work coming their way. I mean, Meghan signed with WME to try to kickstart her career, but it hasn't worked. There are no companies at this point who want to invest in them, who want to work with them. They had a really good thing with Spotify and they blew it. And as far as Netflix goes, well, that contract is going to be up in 2025, and it sounds like it's very unlikely that Netflix is going to renew. Why would they renew after all? Netflix cannot afford to waste a bunch more money on those two to produce flops. And I know, most people, after they did everything Meghan and Harry have done, wouldn't even try to reconcile with the family they trashed. But again, Meghan and Harry are just as delusional as they are entitled, so I'm sure this is something they would do. You see, in their delusional brains, Meghan and Harry are convinced that they are so important to the monarchy, that the royal family has really been hurting since they left, and it's not because of the way they trashed them, it's because of the fact that they left. So of course, from their insane perspective, they believe the family would accept them back with open arms. All they have to do is say they want to come back. But this source who spoke with the Mail is also saying that any invitation might not go down very well with other senior royals, including the Prince of Wales, whose relationship with his younger brother is now non-existent. Reportedly, there was a lot of talk yesterday in royal circles as to whether or not William and Catherine and their family would even show up if Harry and Meghan were invited. People are predicting that should Meghan and Harry be invited for Christmas, the Wales family could very well choose to spend Christmas with the Middletons, and I wouldn't blame them one bit. I'm sure that's exactly what they would do. Why would they want to allow their precious children to get anywhere near those traitors, who could be very dangerous, in fact, to their children's safety? According to a separate royal source, though, there is another possibility here that there could be a compromise. Another royal insider suggested to the Mail they thought the king would be more likely to invite Harry and Meghan to visit him in Scotland over the new year. Over the new year, the Wales family is going to be at Anmer Hall anyway. That's their Norfolk country home. And honestly, folks, I think this is the most likely scenario that we're going to see play out. I don't think there is any way Charles wants to risk pissing off William to that extent by inviting Harry and Meghan. The reports about how William feels about Harry right now have been very consistent. He hates him. He wants nothing to do with him. Now, the reports about what Charles is feeling right now about Harry have also been pretty consistent, and clearly he is more open to reconciliation. He said he's always keeping the door open, that Harry will always be his dear boy. He's upset with him, sure, but still, he can find it in his heart to forgive Harry. William, on the other hand, no, I don't think so. Probably not ever. When discussing the possibility that the Sussexes could come for the new year, the source said, it would certainly have the advantage of killing two birds with one stone, extending an olive branch to one son without causing difficulty to the other. While there still is the possibility that Meghan and Harry could be invited for the new year, according to one source, it is very unlikely they'll come to Sandringham for Christmas. The source said Christmas plans are normally nailed down by now, as Sandringham isn't a particularly big place, and there's not a lot of room for the entire extended family. It would be surprising for the Sussexes not to have received an invitation by now if there was going to be one. New Year in Scotland would be more likely. But as with anything to do with Harry and Meghan, let's face it, anything can happen. Anything can happen indeed, so we'll just have to sit tight and stay tuned. And you, what do you think about the likelihood of Harry and Meghan returning to the UK at all over the holiday season? Please let me know your opinion below in the comments section. If you enjoyed our video today, please don't hesitate to like and share it with anybody else who would like it too. And don't be afraid to click the subscribe button to get more updates in the future. Thank you so much for tuning in, have a lovely weekend, and we'll be back to see you all tomorrow.